Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and before we start, if you're new to the channel, as always, consider on hitting the subscribe and the like button, as I am going to be bringing out more content, and I want you guys to be able to follow the journey along with me. This is my Arlington regional debut recap. So I played Path Mew. It was 9 rounds. I did not make day 2, but the event was ran really good, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the event in details, but I'm gonna glimpse over the deck profile that I played real fast. Okay, I sold a ton of stuff when I was there because I'm getting ready for the end of this format into the new format. So I don't see myself for playing this deck in the future, but if I do, I can just pick up the one copy of the Battle League and throw in what I need to throw in at that point. Just if I want to have it as a utility box deck, just to have for testing. I did play like a ton of max rarities, so I am going to be showing some, not really proxies, I'm just going to be showing blank cards or just saying, hey, this is the card. Full deck description will be in the deck box, the full deck's description will be in the description box below, but I'm not going to go too far into this deck profile. I'm just going to kind of go ahead and just give y'all a glimpse of it. So started off, I played 4 Mew Vs. I did play Mew, but I played Mew Path, and I'll explain kind of why in just a moment. I played 3 Mew VMAX, 1 of the Oricorio, 4 of the Genesect. Again, like I said, these ratios are gonna look weird like this just because I simply sold a bunch of my stuff when I was down at the regional, and I had this primarily, well, used the rarity from the last video actually, so if that tells you, from my previous Mew video. Then to round off the list, I meant to round off the starters, or the cards that start out like or help you push. 2 of the 4 Seal Stone, really busted card in the format. Let you search for anything while you're playing this deck, just to give you that combo piece like a DTE or a choice belt, or just whatever you need to try to help you set up. Just because I don't want to like go wait for proxy. This was just 4 power tablet. That's all you need to know. You know, every standard Mew list pretty much plays this general line. Then keep on going on. 4 Vital VIP Pass, 4 Quick Ball, and it was 4 Ultra Ball. I had this weird looking gold. I was trying to order this in a set to have a matching set, but for some reason the person I bought them from refunded me my money like 2 days before the regional. So I was like, I did try to pick it up beforehand, but kind of didn't see none in anybody's utility boxes or anything. So yeah, that's something I'm gonna try to reorder. 4 Cram-o-matic, 4 Cross Switcher, 3 Path, 1 Temple of Sinnoh. I elected to go for the Temple of Sinnoh over the 4th Path just for the Lugia matchup, because this deck was primarily built to turbo and beat Lugia, which it did convincingly in my opinion. But I don't regret playing. I think that going forward, if you do like decide to take this list, I would probably cut the Sinnoh for either the 4th Path or play a Pokestop just to be able to dig into more items, because if you don't hit off Cram hit, it does feel bad. 4 Double Turbo Energy, 2 Switch card. This card was very underwhelming for this event. It never really come up. They wasn't like ping damaging nothing. If they was attacking, they was knocking it out. So you could cut this for sure to either just play a regular Switch or play two copies of Escape Rope. I was playing Escape Rope in the fusion build, and it does come up to where if you just need to like them weird Diances and stuff like that playing in your local meta, it's there to kind of help counteract that, and to be able to get rid of the Path and the Sinnoh in this build. 4 Lost Vacuum, this is just a good card, because the whole idea of this deck is to try to build up to start building Mews up and then path locking them. Next turn, use this card to out what's locking you and keep playing the game. 2 Choice Belt, and that rounds out the list for items and supporters. And then for items and Pokemons. And then for the supporter line I played, this line performed in so much work. I just wish I would have played a Silene. I did try to kind of copy and paste the list from Japan, and that's why I decided to go with this. They didn't play Silene in their list, and I do find a lot of times if you hard open Silene like in the first couple of turns, it really is a deck card. I just really didn't want to play a bunch of deck cards. It doesn't have a really good purpose of shoveling stuff back in, yes, but I was respecting the Lugia matches more than I was the others. But one Roxanne in case that they drape you on, knock you out, and then you just build your second Mew up Roxanne and knock that out, and then path lock them, and that's how you play for that. One Avery, this card was so good this event. Not a lot of people are like on this card right now, which I think is incorrect. Just the fact that this trades in with Lugia and trades in with Reggie, which Reggie actually performed really, really well in this event, and it can help you draw 3, so you're not really having to burn. Like if you're going like first and they overcommit a board, you punish them for playing the board, and then you're not having to rely on just trying to use your force still on the, dig a piece. This can help you dig for them power tablets and stuff that you need. Then the last of the supporter line, I played 2 Marnie. I should just play 1 Marnie, and this should have just been something else, like maybe the Silene or another boss. Boss and Serena. This line right here, I didn't play a ton of because I could just search and I was digging anyways. The only thing that like I said, I would change going forward in this list if you play this is try to cut the Silene in, no matter how bad of a card it is going in early game, and try to put one of them in. I would have liked to see another boss's orders at times, or a way to recycle. So you could probably definitely cut 1 Marnie and probably cut like a switch card for just like like a pal pad and a Silene. But as far as the theory and the idea behind this deck, it did what it was supposed to do, but it just didn't play for the jank, and that's why I didn't make day 2. But let's go ahead and I'm going to talk about the event. First and foremost, shout out to Taylor, Anthony, and Ryan and his group just for being just great for the event. Me and Taylor, oh God, we tested like probably like 85% of the event before and after, just to kind of get a feel of the meta. I mean, he's just one of the people that drive you to play better because he's a really good player. I hated that he bubbled out. I hated that Anthony bubbled out too, but it just wasn't our day. And shout out to Anthony for just having this awesome list. We might try to profile here on my channel because it was so comical, because he just played Lugia, but he played his own Lugia, and like all the judges were loving it. So and also on top of that, I got the shout to Ryle Reddy. If you don't know who that is, he is a pro player. He actually made top 13. I believe he made 9 playing Reggie. I actually started the game because I started watching him and Professor Waltz on TikTok. That's what actually drove me into playing the game outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! I actually was able to like have a cool interaction with him, talk to him, just get his theory. And he was like super, super, super nice to me, and like when he didn't really have to be. So shout out to him for just being an awesome person, for being a pro player, taking the time to talk to me about, asking me about my deck choice, and just being like real motivational for it. Them are the more pro players we need playing the game, and I think he does a prime example of that. But anyways, so what I'm gonna do before I go on my round by round, I am gonna talk about the event and like stuff with it. So I'm not going to be this channel to sit up here and tell you, oh, it was a perfect event, you should go, everything was just completely perfect. Okay, a regional experience is a nervous experience for anybody. I'm going to tell you all this. I am a former decorated backyard wrestling champion, and I have been in little indie promotions. And from there, I was a very good pool player. In fact, I was almost sponsored by a pool cue company called McDermott when I was 18 years old. I have 7 tops in that area, respectively, before I had transitioned into wrestling. I'm going to tell you, these events, you do get nervous, and it is but it is a well thought out experience. The only 2 complaints I would say that I had with the event was during the time clock. They had the time clocks up, but they wasn't counting down. It just showed the time instead of 50 minutes on a round. I think, and I'm not gonna complain, I think it's just like something that could be like, room for improvement on their part. And I feel like probably with a few people giving some feedback, I feel like probably going forward that they will change that, because I wasn't the only one who kind of felt that way, just kind of getting like a general reaction of the people that was around me. And the second thing was the judging. Now, my judges were awesome, and the reason my judges were awesome is because I did everything correctly. I didn't have the ability, like if you use an ability, there's a counter that you can use to kind of show it, but I didn't have them ability markers because I was under an understanding we were supposed to get a pack of them with our swag bag that we did not get. I will probably just order some off Etsy. It's not like no big, no, I'm not gonna whine and complain on that, but what I had did, and I'm gonna tell you all this, I heard a lot of complaining about some of the judging, especially one I'm gonna talk about here in a second. guys, you got to remember when like you're in these big events, these judges are nervous too, and some of this might be their first time. And I know that the head judges were kind of having, you know, kind of had to babysit some of these judges, so these were probably their first, you know, big event judging. And you know, I thought the head judges did a real great job. I had like one head judge that actually sit and watched a game of mine because he thought it was fast. Because this is the thing: if you want to get along with your judges here, do the right things. Have your prizes set out nice and neat. Have your hand laid out to where they can count it. Have your loss zone laid out with a dice on it. Have your discard pile like this. Don't be sitting there hand shuffling on your opponents. You know, just be as civil as possible. Say yes sir, no sir. Just, you know, okay, hey, and just be as nice as possible. There's no reason to go in here being rude. I did have like two people that I played in my rounds that were kind of semi-rude, but even for what they was not bad. I've actually experienced worse, and you know, I would definitely be glad to like sit across the room from them and play again because they was both actually decorated players. But the judging, the only problem that I seen with the judging that I had was there was a round like was landing around, it didn't matter. And if judges hear this or whatever, I hope you take advice from this, because I feel it's just like a learning curve for y'all. Two girls that was playing, like they was new, first regional, they didn't care. They was at the bottom round anyways. They wasn't gonna make day 2. They drew in time and they decided to roll a die, and they had a big commotion about it. I think they had like 4 or 5 judges over there trying to sort it out. And I'm just like, before you make that decision as a judge, because I have read for the handbook and stuff, and I do at one point want to become one. Look at every scenario possible before you start making like a big fuss about stuff. And I think this is just going to make the play better. Look at the scenario going in forward. Okay, they're not going to make day 2. It's not a big deal. Give them both a warning. Either make them play it out or make them play it out or draw both of them. Just don't like drag out some big ordeal over it. That's the only thing that I had to complain about with that. One of my buddies actually went up there and said, hey, just do this. And they did kind of get smart with them. And I was like, hey, you just come over here because I know how his mouth is. But other than that, the event was fantastic. A lot of people, even while playing, was nice. You know, sitting around on lunch break with people, talking, getting their ideas. And just met a few people. I didn't get to do a lot of blogging because I really did take this event seriously with it being my first. I wanted to like just go in there to try to play as best as I could to make day 2, which I didn't make day 2, but just fine. It was a great experience. But go ahead and talk about my rounds, what I played. So round 1, I played Lugia, and it was 2-1. So the first game, he opened up really good, and I opened up subpar, but I was playing through the best that I could. And we both went down to 2 prizes before he won. He was able to take a 2 prize on a Genesect boss KO up when he Elagos down to re-get his boss in. So you know, nothing you could do about that. Game 2, he prized like some crucial key pieces. So that game was over with like really fast. And then game 3, we went back and forth. We went into time in game 3, but I went turn 0 when I'd already taken 4 prizes, and he played as a heavy ball because he's playing a slacking build, which I think that build is like really nice. He looks at his prize pool and he was like, okay, so I'm just gonna give you the win because there's no way I can play out of this. You're gonna duck me the next turn. Really super awesome. I won today, 2-1 win against Lugia. Next match was round 2. It was against Lost Box. I actually dropped that 0-2, so this was my own fault. Game 1, we was like turn 19, and he didn't put Drapion down at that point. So I was like, okay, I had Pat, but before I had Marnie, I did have Path in my hand, and I was like, okay, he don't have a Drapion. He's probably not playing it because a lot of Lost Boxes have actually cut Drapion because they don't want to give 2 free prizes, and it is a brick against anything else. So my thought process was his thought process. He just cut it where he could just play the single prize matchup. So instead of putting the path down, I went ahead and Marnie drew him into Drapion. He beat me on that game, and then in game 2, I just bricked. It was bad. But looking back on it now, this is just like a learning experience. I should have just put the path down, just be on the safe side, Marnied, because I did draw the way to out the path in case. But that was just one of them miscues that that I just kind of like got too arrogant with, that could have like turned the favor. Like, so if for example, if I would have won that game, he would have dunked me in the next game, because he did dunk me. I opened up subpar and hit Drapion, just carried him that game, and then we could have went to game 3. That I could have just played around Drapion, and it could have maybe been a different story. But okay, we go. So round 2, we're 1-1 at that point. It felt pretty bad. So round 3, I go into expecting another Lugia, but I play this Durant Mill deck, and I'm prizing. I like literally on game 1. I get Otay, by the way. So game 1, I have him down to 1 prize, and he was a really, really good player. And what literally saved his butt that game was he was able to finally get a quick ball. He got the Yveltal that knocks special energy off for twin energy. He gets to Yveltal, puts the Yveltal down, plays a switch, researches his hand, gets to twin energy, knocks 3 of my energies off, and I prize 1. So we go to game 2. In game 2, same case. I get him down to 2 prizes, and then he's able to get into double Yveltal, and I was locked up there. That was one of the games that I wish I would have had Silene, because I wasn't expecting Durant Mill. I mean, I don't think nobody was. So that put me at 1-2 going into round 4 before the lunch break. So all the group regrouped, and we're like, okay, so we're all at 1-2 at this point. So the best case scenario is we need to go 2-2. We're to go 1-2-1 going into lunch break. So going into round 4, I played Lugia. It just pure Lugia. It wasn't nothing like out of the wall. So game 1, so game 1, I give him a mulligan draw, and I look at my hand. My hand was okay. I had Mew Choice Belt DTE, and I have Cram and a Power Tablet. So if I hit and this is only like one of the few dice rolls I win. This is why this was so annoying. If I hit the Cram row and get VAP, I'm set up, and I'm probably dunking him that game, because heck, literally he was 3 turns behind. It literally took him 2 turns to get set up, and then the only thing I kept on drawing, but I kept on drawing into crap, and that didn't like help. I know I drew into another Cram, missed a Cram. I drew into Power Tablet Cram. It was Cram, Power Tablet, Cram, Power Tablet, something to that effect, and then I missed like double Cram hit just to try to set anything up. And and I have nothing on the board to copy attack anyway. So what he looked for his deck, got all 4 powerful energy, and he had a choice belt. He was able to just one-shot my Mew VMAX. We get deck checked here, and I understand like the judge's logic, because he looks over here like it wasn't even like 4 minutes into the game. Like he was like literally only having the sheets out, and we're already like down 1. I'm already down like 1-0. He's like, okay, what happened? So he deck checks us. We're sitting there for like 10 minutes. Going back and forth, and he brings our decks back, says everything's clear, gives us a time extension. So game 2, basically open up the best playable hand that I can play, just play for all this stuff, and I Glizzling Droplets with the Oricorio. I 5-headed this play out. Because I knew he was going to take. I knew he was probably going to boss up or gust or take out something with Charizard. I just needed to put myself in a position to where I wasn't too far behind if I needed to hit that 210 threshold with the buff. So I went ahead and Glizzling Droplets, spread it out on his board, and he played right into it. I was like, the only way he wins this is if he Marnies me. He did not Marnie me. He does a line of play was his Charizard's locked. I don't worry about his Charizard. Go ahead and knock the Charizard out. His next prize can't take me out. I go ahead and set up, go ahead and knock out. We go to game 3. Game 3, we did go into time, even with the time extension, because we both opened up crap. I mean, we was just playing our hands out. So he gets down to 3. Okay, I take 2 prizes. He takes a 3 prize knockout on the Mew VMAX. And this is where I play like really, really super smart. So, and my judge actually sit down and watched this and was like, he actually like gave me a fist bump, because he was like, that's the smartest play I've ever seen anybody make it a regional. So I knew I needed to tie this round. I knew that what I needed to do to tie this game up was I couldn't let him take 3 prizes on the next turn. So what I did was I quick balled away, put a Mew on the back, put in my Mew VMAX. It was like sitting at like 40 HP. This is turn 2, so I copy Psychic Leap. I play a Power Tablet, copy Psychic Leap. He literally just hits 20 onto the Charizard, and the Charizard's ready to attack next turn. But I leave the bench wide open. When I Psychic Leap back in, I put Oricorio up. So the only thing he could do is take 2 prizes at the most. So we're gonna tie. So we went ahead and tied. I thought that judge was awesome. He kind of laughed at that, because he was like, "That's the smartest play I've seen in a while." So going into lunch break, feeling pretty good. We're 1-2-1. Just, you know, we're still, you know, trying to play out. I feel like my deck, for the most part, is doing what I feel like it's doing. It's beating Lugia. Go to Mewtwo Control next. This match was so underwhelming. Like, he opened up, like, I wasn't taking no prize cards. I couldn't get into anything, and he just opened up really good. Gormanizes, Snorlax. He hit. So, game 1, he beats me. Game 2, I dunked him because he bricked. Game 3, we're playing really close, and I have a chance to win this game, but he hits 4 like 4 crushing hammers back to back on dice roll, and I miss like every one of my crams. So I'll end up losing to Mewtwo Control on game 3. So I'm like, okay, it's like we're right here. We're 1-3-1. We still have a chance to get some points at this point, so I just want to play it out. Going to the Mew Mirror, he's playing the Fusion Strike build. Okay, game 1, he opens up cracked, but I path him, and he's able to out the path, and this was kind of my own stupidity. He does an attack with the use the copy and Genesect stack. I had a Oricorio on the field, and he had a DTE. He knocks out my Mew V, but it was my own fault. He did not have a power tablet in play or a choice belt in play, and I didn't do the math. I went ahead and take the knockout and let him have 2 prizes. If I would have fought back through that, I would have had 10 HP left on that Mew, ready to attack and ready to outkill him next turn. Because he played bad, I could have pathed him and I could have just won the game through there. That was just on my own fault, just not thinking that out. Game 2, I brick. Again, it's like the same scenario. I set up the Mew VMAX with no way to copy an attack, so he ends it up... he actually has everything in hand just to duck me on that turn. So, choice belt, tablet, you know, just all the whole 9 yards. So I end up losing that. So at that point, we're down 1. At that point, we're down pretty bad. So I was just like, okay, so I don't really know what we're just gonna play it out from here. I was just ready to leave at this point, but I was like, okay, let's play it out for the conditioning. Kind of felt real bad about losing to that Mew Mirror. There's 2 of them. If I would have played differently, they probably could take a game 3. It could have been like a different outcome with this list. Going around 7, play Lugia, I 2-1 him. Same kind of scenario. He gets me turn 1, and then I 2-0 him past that because I just set up. I kind of sort of brick, but he opened up like the god hand. He opened up everything on game 1, so he just had it game. And I was just able to play him out free with the paths and stuff. Path, Temple of Sinnoh. Actually, Temple of Sinnoh, he had everything loaded up, and actually Temple of Sinnoh him, I believe in game 2, and I attached 2 copies of DTE to a Mew just to knock, and I just kept on playing like control with that. Game 8, I played against Reggie, and I opened bad both games. Like, it was like miserable. I opened up bad both games to get 0-2 by Reggie. I mean, it really does feel bad. And I liked it. His list was like subpar, but thinking back on it, this is like the one match that I wish I would have had the Fusion Strike package in it, because I would have dunked him pretty hard, because he wasn't like the best Reggie player. It's just I didn't open up like any way to play the game. So then my round down, I 2-0 Lugia. He just played the stock build with the dog and stuff, but he opened up like actually. So what happened was he opened up. He was going to give me the win anyways, but the judge was taking kind of a little bit to get over there to sign off. So we just signed that 1 piece of paper. It was like, whatever. There wasn't like no time, like a penalty card against him. He opens up 1 Lugia Gus and knock it out, and he just gives me the game. So we ended up finishing today 3-5-1. So that was pretty much my experience going into Arlington. The build of Mew was like really solid. I know like some people may be thinking, why didn't you not play the Saline? But like I said, there's only 2. My round 3 and my round 5 is like the only 2 times that Saline ever come up. The rest of the time was like, there's probably like 2 rounds that could have been like completely different if I just would have played just a little bit more smarter. But you know, it's just what it comes up to. It was a great experience. I'm sorry this video is getting out just kind of a little bit late. And we ended up getting back home, like we didn't come home till like Monday night, so I was like not feeling too good like last night, and then I ended up oversleeping today. Get back to the gym, get back to my routine for life. But anyways, guys, that was my regional recap. I'm glad I went. Aiming for Knoxville, so won't be playing Mew in Knoxville, I'll just tell you that. So yeah, I think that we're just gonna go on to something different and just keep on grinding, keep on testing out the format. There'll be a lot more videos coming out, guys. I'm just glad to be back to where I can start grinding out some more content for you. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and log out here for today, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your day.
been debating and contemplating it. I guess that I really felt